Today's 2-minute fairy tale is a not very well-known Brothers Grimm fairy tale called A Jew Among the Thorns. I bet you can guess why it's not pretty well-known and why it's problematic. This hardworking, honest young man works for a master for 2 years and goes on his merry way, and he comes across a dwarf in the forest. And the dwarf says, hey, you should give me all your earnings because you're young and you can make lots more money, but I'm poor and I don't have anything. Our protagonist gives the dwarf his money, and then the dwarf says, okay, I'm gonna grant you 3 wishes. Our protagonist wants a fowling gun that will always hit its target, a bird shooting gun. A fiddle that whenever he plays it will make anyone who can hear the music dance uncontrollably, and that any offer he makes anyone will never be rebuffed. So he gets the wishes, continues on his way. He meets a Jew listening to a songbird. The Jew's like, man, I'd love to have that bird. And so our youth shoots it with his amazing bird shooting gun, and the bird falls inside a bunch of thorns. The Jew crawls inside to get the bird, and he starts playing the fiddle so that the Jew is forced to dance uncontrollably within the thorns, tearing up his flesh. If you're wondering why does he do this when the Jew begs for mercy, the youth says, you've abused people long enough with your slave-driving ways, now the thorn bushes will abuse you. So it's just because he's a Jew. The Jew offers him tons of money to stop, so he finally stops, but then the Jew goes to town and lodges a complaint against him with the judge. The youth is arrested for extortion, which he committed, and is sentenced to hang. But before he's supposed to hang, he says, hey, can I play my fiddle one last time? And the Jew's like, no, don't let him do it. But they do. Everyone is forced to dance. They beg him to stop. He says he won't unless the Jew confesses that it wasn't extortion. So finally the Jew says, okay, it wasn't. And then he gets the Jew to confess that he stole the money in the first place, and so he gets hanged in his place. This is obviously a horrifying and blatantly racist story. Interestingly, the plot device existed in the 1500s, but back then it was a corrupt monk, and then it got changed through the years to a Jew. People argue whether the Brothers Grimm held these beliefs or they just were reporting on the beliefs of the people they collected the stories from, but kind of doesn't matter, it's awful. But I'm telling it to you because I think these things should be known and we should be made aware of them and not erase history or pretend that this story isn't alongside Cinderella, because it is most of the time. As always, check out my book and my podcast, link in the bio.